birthday!
Oh my gosh!
On this season of 7 LittleJohnstons.
Dad, do it!
Anna. I just bought my first home. Everyone in the family are coming over to have an official housewarming party.
I grew up with this girl. She is tough.
This year, we're spicing things up for our 25th wedding anniversary and challenging ourselves to new date ideas.
Don't jiggle the pot too much.
Today is prom.
It was both of our first proms. I really didn't know what to expect, but I was more than happy with the outcome. It was great.
Good night. Bye. I love you. I love you.
When it is time for Alex to leave Allie, there's always tears.
I don't know how many more goodbyes I can handle.
We've got some really big news to tell.
Yep. I'm feeling super nervous about it.
Bryce and I will be having a baby.
I think it'd be safe to say that all three of us might have had a little bit of a disappointment.
My biggest concern is healthcare. Elizabeth being a little person having achondroplasia dwarfism obviously puts her in the high-risk category.
Achondroplasia.
The turning point and the long road home. The turning point was gradual, not a single dramatic event. It was a series of small, hard-won victories. The day he was moved from the ventilator to a CPAP machine, breathing a little more on his own. The day he reached 3 pounds. The first time he wore a miniature onesie that still swallowed him whole. Finally, after 42 days of an emotional siege, the doctors gave them the news they had prayed for. Jonah was strong enough. He could come home. Leaving the security of the NICU was terrifying. It was like they were handing us this precious, fragile piece of china and saying, "Okay, you're responsible for this now." Trent laughs, the memory now tinged with relief. We were so excited, but we were also terrified. No more monitors to tell us if he was okay. It was just us. The trauma of his birth didn't end at the hospital doors. The first 2 years of Jonah's life were filled with therapies, physical, occupational, to help him catch up developmentally. They watched for milestones with bated breath, each one a celebration. A lasting legacy. How the experience forged a family. Reflecting now, over 2 decades later, Amber and Trent see that harrowing experience as the crucible that formed their parenting philosophy and the core of their family's strength. It absolutely shaped who we are as parents, Amber states firmly. It taught us not to sweat the small stuff. So, what if a kid makes a mess? We had a kid who fought to be here. It gave us a perspective that is forever grounded in gratitude. Every birthday, every milestone, even the frustrating teenage years, we look at him and remember that miracle. For Jonah, his origin story is a fundamental part of his identity. We've always been open with him about his fight, Trent says. We tell him, "You've been a fighter since day one. You have that strength in you." And we see that in him, that thoughtful, resilient spirit. He's always been an old soul. The experience also directly influenced their decision to adopt their daughter Anna, also a little person from an orphanage in China. Having gone through that with Jonah, we knew we had the strength to handle medical challenges, Amber explains. We knew what it meant to fight for a child. It opened our hearts to the idea of growing our family in a different way. As they sit in their Georgia home, surrounded by the evidence of their large, loving, and chaotic family, the memory of those 6 weeks is still potent. The tears that fall are a mixture of the old pain and overwhelming pride. The NICU leaves a mark on you, Amber concludes, wiping her eyes. You're in a club you never wanted to join. But it taught us about the fragility of life and the power of hope. That tiny 2-pound baby is now this incredible young man. When I see him working on his car, or just scrolling through his phone, I sometimes have this flashback to him in that isolette. And it takes my breath away. He's our living, breathing miracle. Every single day, he's our reminder that every life is a fight worth fighting for. The story of Jonah's beginning is the unspoken bedrock of the 7 LittleJohnstons. It's the shadow that makes the sunlight of their laughter seem brighter, the silent understanding that passes between Trent and Amber when they look at their firstborn, a testament to a fight won, a life saved, and a love that was forged in the fires of fear and emerged, 6 weeks later, unbreakable. We'd have a good day, he'd gain an ounce, and we'd feel hopeful. Then the next day, he'd have a bout of apnea or an infection would set in, and we'd feel like we were back at square one. It was the longest 6 weeks of our lives. Their marriage was forged in that fire. They learned to communicate without words, to share the weight of the unspeakable fear, and to be each other's unwavering support system when they had nothing left to give.